How's it going, everybody? Just gonna give a few minutes to wait for everybody to come in. Yeah, gummit, that was open. And I just dumped them all out. Crazy. Hate when that happens. Hope everybody's doing good tonight. Just dumped all my plastic baits out in this box. I gotta get it picked up real quick. Why would that even be open? That was opened on purpose. What the heck? Getting some crappie baits, some plastic crappie baits today. And I just picked them up and dumped them all over the place, all these little baits. Oh, man. Oh. How's everybody doing tonight? I'm just trying to organize my crappie baits here. Open them up and they went flying everywhere. Hope everybody's having a good week and a good evening. About 6:30. I'm running late tonight. I tried to get on a little bit earlier, but I had so much stuff going on. So I do apologize. I have a little bit late tonight. How you doing? LIIDJ. How you doing tonight? Let me know where you guys are watching from. Urahara. How you doing, Urahara? Yeah, I think it's pretty cool. How you guys doing tonight? Quinley, how you doing? Yeah, I'm just getting started a little bit late, but hope everybody's doing good out there. Now, it's been a long week already. Gee whiz. It's just barely going to be Wednesday tomorrow. That weekend just can't get here quick enough. Hope everybody's had a chance to check out my channel. Let me know where you guys are watching from. Hopefully my subscribers will come back in. I am a little bit late, but I'm supposed to be on around 4:30 this afternoon, but I had so much stuff going on, so sometimes I'm a little bit late. How you doing? Yeah, it's just one of those Tuesdays. Wishing it was Friday. But hello everybody. Welcome to my live stream. If you haven't checked out my channel yet, check it out. Hit that subscribe button, guys. Hopefully you guys will like it. Got a bunch of videos on there. Got a lot coming up too. I just uploaded one not too long ago. It's a little bit long, but a lot of my viewers like, or my subscribers like the longer videos, so I made that one just a little bit longer. I thought it was pretty cool. Had a good time over the weekend. I think my brother's going to be out here for one more week out in the Ozarks, then he's heading back to Arizona. So I got to meet up with him again this week before he takes off. But he's been out here for about a month camping out in the Ozarks, so I've had to work every day except for the weekend, so I haven't been able to get out there as much as he's been out there, but I'm sure he's having a blast though out there in the Ozarks, fishing and all kinds of stuff. So they brought their quads out and their boat out from Arizona, so he's been having a great time. I guess we had a storm this last weekend, and some trees fell down on his property, and one of the trees punctured his yurt, so he's got a hole in the roof of his yurt, so he's got to get that taken down and taken in and repaired. Hopefully they'll be able to repair that. I'm pretty sure you can patch that. It's all material, you know, a canvas type material anyways, but yeah, if you're new to the channel, check out my channel and watch some videos and subscribe and leave me comments, everybody, so I can get to know you guys. But yeah, he'll be out here for one more week and then he's heading back. I'm hoping this weekend I'll be able to get out my yurt, my other new yurt, and set it up. And I still haven't been able to get out there and set it up with all the weather. But we had some pretty bad weather come through here. And some accidents happened out on the lake. And I guess there's somebody missing that was out on his wave runner. And now he's I don't know if they found him or not. We'll have to check with my brother. He's out there and kind of so, paying attention to what's going on out there at the lake of the Ozarks. But hopefully they found the person. It was a real quick storm though. It just came through, and really bad storm. I mean, it got really dark and lots of lightning and thunder and lots of wind blowing trees over, and it was crazy from what I hear. I mean, I stayed in town And it did get pretty crazy out here, but off to the south is where it was, out by the Lake of the Ozarks, and it got really bad. How you doing? How you doing, Quinley? Where are you watching from? So yeah, hopefully, I mean, we're gonna probably have continuous storms. It's that time of the year too. You gotta kind of plan ahead most of the weekends when we get out there. So hopefully there won't be any, too bad of storms. But I'm gonna try to get set up this weekend where there's no trees around my yurt, so I don't have a tree come down on mine like my brother's. But when we get storms out here, they can get pretty bad. We've got tornadoes and all kinds of stuff out here in Missouri. So hopefully this weekend will be a lot better than the last. But you guys can always go back and watch my live streams. I upload them every night to my channel, so you can check that out. And also on my community section, you guys can go see if there's any messages left for you guys for my upcoming videos and live streams. I also do live streams when I'm out doing my video content. And so I like to bring you guys along. As long as I have a signal out there in the Ozarks, then I'll go live. Oh, you know what I didn't do? I didn't check to see if she was online. Let's see here. I did have a message. I'm watching now. Apologize. I do have your notifications. So there's oh, okay, that's an old message. You guys can find me on Discord too, if you guys have Discord. What are you guys up to tonight? Let me know where you guys are watching from too. Got some people looking in the background there. No, I don't want to do that. Manage settings. I don't want to do that. Yeah, it's been a long, hot week. I can't wait till this cooler weather starts coming in. I'll have to see what the weather's going to be like this weekend. It's always different. We had some storms planned, and then there was only one big storm that came through and did a bunch of damage and then left. And it's been crazy lately. Hopefully it'll be a better weekend. But yeah, like I was saying earlier, it's just my brother's going to be gone. He's going to be heading back to Arizona after this weekend. So be kind of lonely out on his property. I like to do a lot of my camping out there. Hey, how you doing, Matthew? How's it going? How you been doing? I'm just chilling for the night. Been getting up the past 2 days. Today at 3 a.m. and 4 a.m. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. That's my normal time, is be up by 2 a.m. every day. It's a lot of fun, isn't it? Been fishing lately? Or you just been working a lot? I'm itching to get out, go fishing. Oh, every time I want to get the boat and get it ready to go out, we have a bad storm coming in, and I just put the boat off and miss out on my fishing. I want to get out so bad. But I like the nice calm nights where I can do an all-nighter out there on the lake. I went fishing Saturday and caught a 3-pound channel cat. Oh, sweet, right on. And baby catfish. Right on. That's awesome. Did you catch it out of a river or lake? Is it your normal place that you go fishing, or is this a new spot? Normal place. Right on. So it's a river that you go fishing at, or is it kind of like a lake or what? I've been wanting to hit Spring Fork again out here in Missouri. It's a nice lake. That's a great big a canal. It's a canal, huh? Wow. It's like a long canal. So the type of canal you can see the bottom, or has it got quite a bit of water running through it? The canals we got back home, you can fish out of them. You can actually walk on both sides of the canal and see the fish down inside the canal. And then we used to see some great big old monster bass after they've rushed a bunch of water through, and then they filled them all the way back up and slowed down the water. The bass that would get caught up in there, sweet. Yeah, the bass that would get caught up in there, I swear. Hey, every bit of 5, 6, 7 pounds. Them things are so big. Water is dirty, so I can't see anything. Yeah, that's too bad. I know the one out in Arizona where I'm from. You can see all the way to the bottom. You can see everything that's in the canal. We fish the canals all the time, even though they say you weren't allowed to fish in the canals. We'd just be out in the middle of nowhere. And if we saw a Salt River Project truck, around, we'd go off of the side back down into the desert, kind of hide till he left, and we'd go back out and go fishing again. Yeah, it sucks. A lot of the times where the water would come in by the great big huge pipes, that's where we would go fishing and catch good sized bass out of the canal. Otherwise, there was a lot of carp, and mostly carp, bluegill, and bass. It's pretty cool though. We used to do it all the time, canal fishing. It just sucks. It sucked because we weren't allowed to fish in them. I guess they just didn't want to have anybody fall in the canal, because then you'd have to swim down a little ways and to get up on, get out of the canal on one of those ladders that they built into the sidewall. But I used to go down in the canal all the time when the water was low. But there's so much stuff in the canals. People throw bottles in there, so there's glass and all kinds of crap on the bottom. And sometimes you can't see it, so you could step on it and cut your foot. And we always wore shoes, but glass will go through the bottom of your sole too if it's sharp. Broken piece. Where I fish the crappie and bluegill catfish there. Okay. Awesome. Is it like a mud canal, or is it concrete? Remind me where you go. Is it what state do you live in? Where you go fishing out? Mud. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm used to the concrete ones. I mean, there were mud back in the day, but they turned them all Ohio. Okay, Buckeye Lake. Okay, sweet. I'll have to remember that. I'll have to write that down so I remember. Ohio. I've been to Ohio, but I've never stayed there for very long. I just drove through the state. So I don't know much about it except for the highway driving. But it looked pretty cool. Like a pretty cool place. When I was driving over the road, I went to so many places and wanted to stop and go fishing, but I didn't have a license in that state, so I was always worried about getting my gear taken from me if I got a ticket or something, and I wasn't going to be there long enough to actually go have it be worth going and getting a license and stuff. Because I mean I went through quite a few states from Salt Lake City, Utah, all the way up into Indiana, Columbia City, Indiana, every week, up and back twice. But I didn't I didn't really want to waste my money and get a fishing license in any of those states. But man, I passed some pretty cool places that I wanted to go fishing so bad, especially when I got back up in the state that I spent a few years in, up in Virginia. That was really neat. I lived there for a number of years, and that was one of my favorite places for fishing. They had such good fishing back there. But pretty much anywhere I go now, I can pretty much catch, a lot of fish with everything that I've learned throughout the years. Um, but yeah, I'd love to get back out on the lake. It's just this. By the time the weekend rolls around, it's like a storm Friday night or a storm Saturday, and I'm just like, man, I don't want to get out in my kayak and get stuck out in one of those storms. And it was sunny for a little while, so we didn't think it was gonna storm. And then off in the west, it just was solid, dark gray, dark, almost black, the sky. And I'm like, well, there's the storm they're talking about. And when it came through with some micro bursts and a lot of really bad wind and real low clouds, almost like cloud shelves, I guess they call them. And there was a lot of wind in the very beginning, and then the lightning struck, and I think it lasted maybe a couple hours, and then it was gone, and it was just you know uh, kind of calm after that. But it's like you think it's sunny, then you get out on the lake, and you're kind of screwed. That's what happened this weekend with some boaters out there. I guess they had some accidents out on the lake, and a guy came up missing. Guess he was caught up in the storm and fell off his jet ski, and I still don't know. I haven't heard anything whether they found him or not, but I guess another guy drowned out there, so it's kind of bad when the storm's coming around. The other spot I could go, but I'm lazy. Yeah, I hear you. After work, I swear I'm just so lazy myself, but one of these times I'm just gonna say screw it and go down to go fishing, take the kayak and go fishing after work. Because sometimes I'll get off pretty early when it's still nice and hours before it gets dark. It's just so hot lately that I'd want to get out on the lake and then get back to the trees where the streams are, where the stream is coming into the lake. Get back in there in the shade, because out in the sun, oh man, it's so bitter hot underneath the sun when you're out on the lake in the kayak. So unless I was able to do it in the morning, then it would be great. But we've got lake closures here, so night fishing, I guess being that it stays light until about 9 o'clock, maybe a little after 9. Um, you got to be off the lake, I think, by 10 o'clock. So you don't have very much time to fish around the evening time. But unless you're out in the Lake of the Ozarks, then you can stay out all night long. But I'm about an hour from the Lake of the Ozarks, so I'm kind of limited to the urban fishing. Yeah, you won't fish when it's hot. I fish, but it's mostly early morning or in the evening. I'd like to find some streams out here, though. I know there's quite a few. I've got to do some traveling, though, because around here where I'm at, I've got the Lamine River, and I hardly catch anything out of there that's worth, recording. Otherwise, I've got to travel because we got a lot of landowners around this area, and they own the parts of the stream that run through their land. They don't own the water, but they own the streams, and I'd like to be able to walk up and down the streams and not have to worry about being harassed by a landowner. So there's not many places around here that I can fish like that. So I got to go to an urban pond, which sucks because sometimes you can fish all day long and not catch anything, even with the good baits. Unless it's like a bluegill or something, but I like to catch catfish and stuff too when I go. It just makes it a lot funner. But definitely going to be out on the Lake of the Ozarks this weekend if I can get out there. Yeah, I don't even know what the temperature was today, but I think it was in the 90s if I remember right. Right now it's 87 degrees, which isn't bad. It's nice, but I think it was closer to 90 something in the afternoon. But yeah, it's definitely not like back home. I mean, there was so many places to fish back home. It's just out here, I don't know too many places around here besides urban. I like river fishing and stream fishing and stuff. So the lakes can get pretty boring unless I'm out on the kayak and I can get back in the lilies. Then it'll be cool. But I've been caught up in a storm, and I don't like being out there during the storm. Or if it's too hot. It just takes all the energy out of you just to get back to where I need to go. Because it'll take me a good 20, 25, 30 minutes. Well, probably about 25 minutes to get back there where I like to go. Once I get on the lake and start paddling. At least 20 minutes to get back to where I like to go fishing, where it's a little bit more shady. And then if you fish from the shore down at the dock, it's so overfished. Sometimes it's just not fun. I mean, I catch catfish and stuff off the dock, but they're not very big, you know. I like to catch the big fish, so I like to go somewhere where not too many people have fished it, and I have a better chance at catching a good sized cat, even a bass or whatever I'm fishing for. I guess my brother's been going to Bengal Dam down there in Lake, I think it's Osage Beach area, and doing really well down there. The water's a little bit deeper, but the fishing is excellent down there. So I might go down there and put the boat in down there. I haven't been there for years though. Actually, myself, I've been around my area of the Lake of the Ozarks, mostly within a mile either way. So for where I put in, I haven't really traveled to where he goes. Not for a long time, but I remember the fishing was really, really good. Guess they said they were watching some good sized fish come up to the surface and catching fish left and right. And I was just like, man, I wish I could have gone, but I ended up having to work, so I kind of missed out on that fishing trip. You're a bank fisherman, so I stay on land. Yeah, it's cool. I've bank fished for years. Nothing wrong with bank fishing. We got the Missouri River that goes through here too, that has some humongous 100-pound blue cats and channel cats, and some mud cats, but mostly there's a lot of blues. You can see, you can watch some YouTubers fishing in the Missouri River. Here we're kind of close to where I'm at. Um, I don't think it'd take me very long to get up there too, but I'm not familiar with the areas. But as soon as I do get familiar, I'm going to be heading up there and doing some catfishing up there off that river, off the Missouri River. That's a big river too. There's huge tanks in that river. Yeah, I want to go so bad. I'm even gonna take the mini cabin with me so I can find somewhere to stay so I can fish all night, wake up and fish again in the morning. That just sounds like a lot of fun to me. I'd love to hook up to some of them great big old cats like that. I couldn't imagine catching a 100-pound cat. A blue cat too. Those things are fun to catch. I think the biggest one I've caught is like a 6-pounder, and that put up a dang good fight too. Ugh. But yeah, we're definitely gonna do that. I'm just gonna look up on the conservation department website and see where I can go fishing on the Missouri. You can fish everywhere, but there's some places it's just hard to get down to. But I'm definitely gonna go there one of these weekends. But yeah, I was a couple of guys that I watched on YouTube, watched their channel for a long time. That's all they did was fish the Missouri, catching some big old monster cats too, just huge ones. You went fishing at 7 a.m. on Saturday. Cool. Did you post any of the fish to your channel? Oh, what was it, Matthew? I haven't seen your channel for a little bit. I didn't see if you posted anything as far as your fishing went. So you got some crappie on there, some bluegill, catfish, another bluegill. What is that, a largemouth bass? Okay, caught quite a few. I actually got some fishing pole holders that you stab into the ground for catfishing. They're supposed to be coming in the mail pretty soon. Next couple of days. That's a cool little baby catfish. Little channel cat. That's awesome. I haven't seen that picture yet. That's almost like a fish aquarium size. That would be cool. Stick him in an aquarium and watch him grow up. That'd be pretty cool. Oh, the other one's a good sized catfish. Where you're showing its belly side. That's a good one. That's about the size I caught out there in the middle of the Lake of the Ozarks, where I found out that it's only like 3 or 4 feet deep. It's not very deep right there in the middle. It's like a great big sandbar. I was expecting it to be all deep and everything, but it's a daggum sandbar. The deep sides are the deep parts of the Lake of the Ozarks, and a lot of the areas are up next to the rock, next to the rock wall, instead of out in the middle like you think like a normal lake would be, deep. And so it's kind of throws you off a little bit. Get out there and check out the depth finder, and you're like, 4 feet deep. What's this? 3 foot deep. Yeah, he was that old. He was it. He was that of the belly. Oh, the one with the belly was 1 pound 7 ounces. Yeah, I saw that. That's a good size catfish right there. It's good eating size. Yeah, that's good eating size. We used to catch them that were be about 3 feet long, 2.5 feet long. They make some good fillets when they're about that size. But that's a good filleting size right there. What'd you catch that off of? Chicken livers or worms or what? This one's 1.98 pounds. Almost a 2 pound cat. Mostly worms. What did you do with that little tiny cat? You put him in an aquarium? That's a little bitty catfish. That's cool. Saturday catfish I have no picture of because I let them go. Right on. Oh, here's your 1 pound catfish. Yeah. Oh, your buddy's apartment pond, huh? Sweet. That way they can grow up and catch them another day. That's awesome. We used to stock my brother's pond all the time. Used to go out there and get buckets of crawdads and throw them in his pond, and a largemouth bass every time we caught one. Go run it over there in a bucket and dump it in that little pond, and then I think we put catfish in there too. Bluegills too. Just a lot of different type of species of fish, but I think we were basically feeding the turtles though. There was so many painted turtles in there. Yeah, nobody fishes for catfish at my buddy's apartment pond. Okay, that's good. Yeah, I'll let them grow up. Give them a chance to grow up, and that's awesome. Heck yeah. I would mind getting an aquarium though, and catching a little baby catfish like that. Just to check it out, how watch them. I mean, I could put painted turtles in the aquariums all day long. We got so many dang painted turtles out here. You can catch them right on land too, because they come up on the land. But we haven't been fishing my old brother's old place in years. I bet those fish, if they're still alive, they're good size by now. Because it's been 14, 13, at least 13 years since we fished that pond. We put some good sized bass in there too. I just got me some panfish baits for this weekend. If I go try to catch me some good sized panfish or crappie. I got a whole bunch of different types of baits, but these ones are pretty cool. I always do pretty good with bluegills on these little waxworm type baits. Yeah. How long you guys been stocking that pond? It's pretty cool. That's really cool. Well, depending on the size of the pond too, if there's a good bait source in there, they can get pretty big. So they'd definitely be worth catching later on. These things don't smell very good. Got me some Ned Rig kit. It's not too bad. Got your basic colors in there, but they don't have my favorite though. The black ones are my favorite. These might work though. Few months I threw close to 3 dozen channels and 3 dozen bluegills. Plenty of bluegill. Yeah, that sounds cool. That's awesome. I started digging a pond on my property, but I didn't bring in enough mud and clay to get the water to stick around. So, and then it busted out the back of it where I was going to have a dam and a spillway, so that it wouldn't overfill it. But you've got to build them pretty good and get them set up to where they hold the water in. I took a great big section of the stream and opened it up to a great big pond so I'd have an inlet and an outlet. And then I let it fill up with water after I dug it all out, got down to the bedrock, and then the water filled up and it stayed up for a while, but then I had a storm and it busted out the back. I kind of gave up on it. Hey, how you doing, Amanda? Good to see you again. It's been a little while. This is pond like 8-10 acres. Awesome. How you doing tonight? Yeah, me and Matthew were just talking about fishing and stuff. You're fantastic. How are you? I'm tired. I'm tired. Yeah, I've been working a lot, so haven't been able to go out and have fun. And then Amanda says, "Hello, Matthew." Hi, Matthew. Right on. Hope everybody's doing good out there, though. It has been a few days since I've been on live, so it's good to see you guys. What are you up to tonight, Amanda? You having a good day so far? It's almost over. Yeah, I've been so tired lately, but I think it has a lot to do with the weather. It's been so hot. Even in the 80s, it just seems like it's really hot because we were in the 90s today, but when it gets cooler into the 80s, it's still kind of warm. Haven't quite hit the lower 80s. We're still pretty good. Cleaning house and getting dinner together, but that's the usual. Yeah, I hear you. Right on. Well, it's good to see you again, though. Yeah, I need to get out. I need to get back out this weekend. My brother's going to be leaving this weekend, too, so going back to Arizona. Going back to that heat, that dry heat. I try to be here. Was out of school last week. Oh, cool. Yeah, I appreciate you being here. Yeah, me too, definitely. Yeah, definitely. Don't like to sit here and sweat to death when I'm outside. Not even doing anything either. You just sit there and sweat. So yeah, it's no fun. Definitely dry heat's a lot better. You can at least feel a lot better when you're drier. You actually if I remember right, I used to have to actually be doing something to actually sweat out there. Otherwise, it was just hot. Find some shade though, and as long as you had a cool breeze, it wasn't too bad. But you can be in the shade here and still be sweating because of the humidity. But yeah, so we'll probably have Bodie out this weekend too. I've been wanting to get him back out. He's itching to go on another adventure. I should take him fishing. He likes going fishing with me. He always wants to eat the fish though. He wants to grab a hold of them and funny guy. So yeah, I was gonna try to take off Friday, but I think I get off early enough during the day that I think I can work and then just go have everything be ready, for Friday night. Yeah, I just have to get it ready during the week and then be ready for the weekend. But instead of taking the day off, because that way I can save more of my vacation time for when I really need it, when I want to travel and stuff. So I think here in September I've got a trip that I'll be going on up into Maryland and Virginia, and so we'll be doing some video content up there, making some videos. So that would be pretty fun. So a couple weeks into September I'll be doing that. I don't know how you do it, to be honest. You work long hours plus this. That's a lot. Yeah. Yeah, sometimes I just want to come home and go to bed, just skip over everything and just go, try to catch up on sleep, but it's all good. I got bursts of energy every once in a while, so I mean, like tonight I was okay to go live for a little bit and go to bed a little bit early, but yeah, I try to do as much as I can. Then when the weekend rolls around, I've got a whole whole bunch of stuff that I'm going to be doing. So yeah, I used to have to work the weekends. That was bad. I didn't have any time for my channel. But then I started telling them I'm not working weekends anymore. I'm not coming in anymore. So I started devoting most of my weekends to my channel. So can't really make a channel if you don't put any work, if you can't put any work into it, right? But yeah, I love it. I love getting out and doing stuff. I'll do it as much as I can. I'm going to try to do a lot more, actually. Just got to get past these storms. We have storms, it seems like, every weekend now. And that's no fun. I mean, I don't mind being out. I just can't get out in the kayak. I can't get out in the boat. But I can do some camping and, set up some hot tents and stuff like that. But I want to be able to go fishing and do some catch and cooks. That's a lot of fun doing that. But with the storms, I won't get out on the water. Do you see my alien shirt? I don't know if you saw that. I still haven't been back to my trailer to find those sculptures, but I will one of these days. I'll have them sitting right here. Just got to go over there and do it. Go pick them, go find them. But yeah. Oh. What's for dinner? What are you cooking for dinner tonight? Lumo Pal. You guys got to get you one of these things. These things are so cool. It's a charger. Solar power charger. But these things are awesome. I got a couple of them. They work really well too. Got their own panels. But they're pretty cool. I bring them every time I go out there just so I can have something to charge my phone. Just sit there and charge it while I'm not using it. Getting set up. But if you guys do like a lot of hiking and stuff, these are perfect for that. But yeah, I might go up on my property this weekend, on my upper section of my land. It's a nice place up there. Nice and up a little bit higher. It's not down in the woods too far. But I've got a better phone signal up there than down lower on my property. It just seems like I've been struggling lately trying to find a signal, so up there closer to the road, at least it's got a better signal. Whoop. Plus, it kind of keeps Bodie out of the deep woods where I don't have to worry about him getting any of those ticks. He's got his stuff though. He's got like some natural stuff that I give him that helps him not get those ticks and stuff. So he's got to have that. Otherwise, I've got to use a different uh, tick medication for him. But this other stuff that I give him are natural. Um, it's made out of natural ingredients, so it doesn't harm him. But I don't want him to get any of those ticks on him, because those things can be deadly if they get a whole bunch, and just not very comfortable for the little guy. Those and chiggers too. It helps to cut down. It helps him not get any chiggers too, because there's a whole bunch of chiggers up in that grass, and that's no fun. Wow. Tired starting to kick in. 7:30 almost right now. But yeah, I might take Bodie down to the lake this weekend too and take him fishing. And then if I get lucky enough to bring back a catfish, I'll cook it up. That's what I'm hoping. A good sized catfish though. It can't be a little cat. It's got to be at least 2 pounds. Then I'll bring it back to camp and get it cooked up. I think that would be awesome. Then I can see if Bodie likes fish. I still don't know if he likes to eat fish or not. So that's something we'll have to check out when we give. I know he likes to lick the bluegills, but actually eat cooked fish, I don't know if he does or not. Oh, that's all good. It's all good. I totally understand. You know, you guys can go back and watch these live streams, so. But so yeah, I think when you were gone, I was asking what you making for dinner. I bet he will love fish. Yeah, I think he will too. He seems to like to taste them when they're raw. Funny dog. But I bet he'll love it when it's cooked up. Definitely. I know some dogs don't like to eat fish, but I think he will. Plus, it's been a little while since I've had him on in my videos, so I got a really cool harness though for both of them actually now. Got really cool harnesses, and where they're. I think I showed you guys earlier, but I got some other ones that came in that are pretty cool. So I'm gonna start taking him for more walks with this harness instead of his leash or his collar. I got rid of the collar thing so he wouldn't have a collar. I mean, I've got these new collars that I got, and then that way his tag can go on his collar. But when we're out doing the other stuff, I'm gonna put his harness on, and then I'll just walk him around with the harness. A little bit better for him, a little easier on his neck. Cube steak in the crock pot, gravy, onion. Oh my gosh, yeah, that sounds dang good. That sounds good. It's like an open fish sandwich. Those things are really good. A sandwich with mashed potatoes, gravy, and yeah, that sounds good. Thing sounds dang good. Yeah, I bet everybody liked that too. I used to do that kind of stuff, do cook in the crock pot. Set it all up and then come back after work and it's already cooked. Yeah, that sounds good. We will have to do something like that this week. That sounds dang good. Okay, that'll fit him. So I got these other bigger collars for him. It's like a canvas material, but it's a lot softer. See what Bodie does, and then he won't be able to get the latch off very easy because it locks in place. The other one, he plus got this nice handle on it, but he grabbed a hold of Bruiser's. What did I have for dinner? I haven't had dinner yet. I'm just so tired. I need to go make dinner. I will probably in a little bit. It's 7:30. Was that 7:30? Yeah. I probably will here in a little bit. Yeah, these are a little bit bigger. Kind of thicker. Otherwise, I have his harness here too. That see I had to get him new ones because they both and this opens up, makes it goes a lot bigger. I got them both extra large because they're getting pretty big. But when they wrestle each other, they bite their collars. Then they twist around, and he somehow busted Bruiser's collar and lost it or chewed it up to nothing. And so, yeah, I had to order some new collars for him. Otherwise, I have their big harnesses that they wear when they'll go out and they go for walks. So I've got those, and I just got these in a couple days ago. So these will be nice, but I hope they don't start chewing on these ones again. You know, these new ones. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to buy more and have another one on hand in case they bite the crap out of this one. This one's a little more heavy duty than the ones you buy at like Walmart and stuff. I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna eat. That food you were talking about sounds pretty good. I don't think I have the ingredients for that, but I might go look for something. See what we got in the fridge. I could probably make a pizza real quick. That's always a good, quick food. Easy to make. Do they really? Yeah, Bodie. He seems like he'll tackle Bruiser, and now they're big. I don't know if I've shown you guys how big they've gotten. Bruiser's huge. He's getting to be a fat boy. I have to take him for walks and stuff because he's getting so big. But he'll tackle Bruiser down on the ground, even though he's only half the size of Bruiser. I don't know what's going on with Bodie. He's growing, but his head's growing quicker than his body. That's probably the Rottweiler in him. But he'll tackle, and then he just grabs a hold of his collar. And I thought he was biting his neck at first and kind of chewing on his neck, but it's his collar, and he took it off. So I can't find it. So I had to get these new ones. So I have to go put it on him. How you doing, Damla? Kakir? How you doing? I am from Turkey. Hey, yeah, welcome. I keep collars and leashes in my car just to be safe. You never know. Yeah, it's true. Yep. I've got one in my truck too. Yep, I got 2 collars and 2 leashes. Yep. Well, not collars, but the other harnesses that I have for the dog, so I can take them for walks. But But yeah, I finally got some more collars for him. So, and I think these harnesses will go on, and they don't disturb his collar either. Yeah, it'll. I mean, it'll be up there. Most of it's on his back and goes around his belly. So I think his collar will be just fine. Yeah, welcome from Turkey, though. Good to meet you. Check out my channel if you haven't yet. Yeah, have a good night. It's about 7:30 here. 7:30 in America, in Missouri, USA. You're getting close to my bedtime. So yeah, I'm excited to get them out there. Now that I've got harnesses for both, but I do have to get a great big kennel for Bruiser now. I've got one for Bodie, a travel kennel. They do a lot better when they're in the kennel. Otherwise, they slobber like crazy when we go on trips, and so can't really put them up in the cab with me. So I usually put them back in the kennel, but they're too big to fit into one kennel. So I just gotta go pick up another kennel for Bruiser, and then I can take both of them. I took them both once, and Bodie got to ride in the travel uh, deal, but Bruiser had to stay outside of the kennel, and so he got rained on. Poor dog. He wasn't too happy with me. He looked at me like, "Can you please put me in the kennel or something?" Poor guy. He didn't get too wet though, so it wasn't too bad. I ended up putting the tonneau cover down over top of him, but I left it all open so he could at least get air and everything like that. But at least he wasn't getting soaked. So, but yeah, their leashes are pretty cool too. They're those stretchy kinds. So, if I can show you. You ever seen those kinds that are kind of stretchy, where they stretch out but they cinch right up? Those things are pretty cool. You just cleaned out your car and it was so bad. The dog hair was ridiculous. Oh yeah, yeah. See, I've got one of those travel mats that go into the back seat of my truck that attach to the back seat and the back of my seats, and so it's like a cover that they sit inside, but it's got four sides to it, and it allows them to, even if they were to actually accidentally pee or something, it wouldn't go onto the carpet. It'd just stay inside there. I'd have to get out a paper towel and wipe it up. But this seems to do really good for them when I travel, so they're not sitting right on the material, getting their hair all over everything. But it's not too bad though. I've had them back there a couple times. Otherwise, they like the back. But when I do travel far long distances, they go into the kennel for traveling. I don't let them out, you know, sitting out in the back the whole time, just so that they're safe. And I did once. I let them be in the back while I traveled once, and they were so interested in trying to get over the edge of the bed that I just said, nope, not doing that anymore. So they ride in the kennel now. And I had their leash on them, but I had it to where they could at least put their head up over the side and watch the street if they wanted while we're going down the road. But they still were trying to jump out. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, Bodie's funny. He knows when I come and go from the house, when I go to work, when I come home, and he's kind of like in that hunched down look, like looking at me, just sitting there, staring at me like, "Are you gonna come take me? Are you gonna take me out now?" And sometimes I feel bad for him because I get home and I take him out, but it's not for very long because I got to go to bed and I just get so tired. I mean, the weekends I'll do more for him and stuff, but they like the weekends. I bet a lot more than during the week. It's just I've gotta be up so early. I can't really spend too much time. But yeah, I'm not too hungry yet. Could probably go grab a snack or something, but I'm still good. I think I'm gonna have to eat a light snack anyways because it's getting so late. Only got about half hour, 20 minutes to a half hour before I got to go to bed, so I don't think I have time to eat any bigger meal. Just have to get one tomorrow after work. You see my other sign, Amanda? The mountains are calling and I must go. I've got a Bigfoot hanging that's got his arm up on a tree that says the same thing. I swear that's so true. I feel like the mountains are calling. The wilderness is calling me. It's calling me daily. It makes me want to go out and do a lot of stuff. Dang, all this stuff is going to fall off. Yeah, it's all good though. Yeah. I've got so many signs. I started putting them up in my little trailer, in my mini trailer. I even started putting them up in the other trailer I've got. But I've got so many signs. I just haven't put up yet. This one's pretty cool. Lots and lots of signs. That's the normal one that I have in all my other trailers. That one's pretty cool. Otherwise, Montana, Yellowstone River. I got that's a pretty cool one right there for fishing. Lots of cool signs. I was collecting them for a little while. I know when I got them, I knew I had a place that I was going to put them all too. I just haven't done it. It's backwards. Beware of the squirrels. You have been warned. Those squirrels can get pretty nasty. They'll bite the crap out of you if you mess with them. If you get one to land on you, those suckers will bite the crap out of you. People still letting off fireworks out here. It's crazy. Love the science. Yeah, I like the signs too. Quite a few of them, but what is that one? Another sign right there. I forgot about that one. Never give up. See, it's the frog choking the crap out of the stork. I can just imagine. That's my sense. I mean, I've got a pretty good sense of humor. I get a kick out of that kind of stuff. Reminds me of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, the squirrels. Yeah. Right? Hey, that was a good movie. Oh, man. For Bodie when he gets bigger. If he ever does, I swear. I know it's backwards, but you get the point. You could probably read it backwards. Pretty cool, pretty cool. Oh. What time is it? 7:48. But yeah, I sleep better when I don't have a full stomach. I sleep a heck of a lot better. Usually if I'm really full, I can't get to sleep for at least an hour after I've laid down, so I don't mind. I think going to the work in the morning will be difficult because I'll be wandering around all day looking like a fool. Yeah, I get that way too. I definitely get to be like that. Except for I'm driving, so it's kind of hard on me. So sometimes I'll be sleeping when I should be driving. Just a real quick doze off kind of thing, but I used to be really bad when I was over the road. If I didn't get enough sleep, oh my gosh, I had no problem falling asleep going down the road and wake up and be like, "Oh crap! How long was I out?" Rudra, how you doing? Good to see everybody. How's everybody doing? Yeah, I definitely need my sleep. I need more than 4 hours. If I can get at least 5 hours every night, I'll be all right. I'm doing pretty good. Just kind of hanging out tonight. I got on a little bit late. I've just been really busy. Had a lot of stuff going on. But hey, I still got on, so it's all good. I'm going to try to be back on tomorrow night too, everybody. So, and I'm going to try to do a little bit earlier if I can. I know a few things that I've got to do, but if I don't come back on around 4:30, it'll be after that. It'll be about the same time I did tonight, about 6 or so. Oh yeah, I did that a couple times. Not all the time. I had to get myself used to it. I used to drive just nonstop, and I was a trainer, and I had students that didn't want to drive, and I was in Columbia City, Indiana. I'd have to start out in Salt Lake City, Utah, and get all the way into Indiana and turn around and come back, and I did that twice a week. So, yeah, I had 6,000 miles a week, unless I picked up an extra account, and I'd go into um, I go up into Tennessee and then come back, and it would make it so I couldn't come home on the weekend. And yeah, I had drivers that didn't want to drive, and I was on dedicated, so I had to drive their hours. Yeah, when I go to bed, if I don't put my phone down, I'll stay up all night. I'll look at the clock and say, "Dad, gummit 10 hours, 3 hours to sleep, and then have to get up." But yeah, I found myself falling asleep behind the wheel a couple of times, and I don't know how long I had been going down the road. I was going straight. I just couldn't remember how long I slept. But I quit doing that. I started, doing other things to stay awake, and like those five. What are they? Those energy drinks, those little shot drinks that you can get at the gas stations. Those the really really sweet energy drinks that keep you awake. Oh my gosh, I heard those things will give you a heart attack too, and I'm surprised I didn't have a heart attack because with the amount of those things that I was drinking every day to try to stay awake, and then I just got used to it. I stopped falling asleep behind the wheel. I never had any problem. I didn't go off the road and hit. I Sometimes I'd hit the rumble strips, but then I'd wake right back up. But I never had an accident. Yeah, yeah. That's why I kind of quit doing over the road. I just got to the point where I didn't want to be gone anymore, and I didn't want to have an accident one of these times because I was doing pretty good as a trainer and driving over the road and stuff. And I'd have a student for about a month. I'd have him 4 weeks to train him, and then send him back to the school. I'd actually drop him back off at the school, pick up another student, and then head back out and do the same thing over. And I got to where I really liked it. How you doing, Matt? I got to where I really liked it. I liked my job a lot, and I enjoyed training people. And some of the people I didn't want to have them ever come back to my truck. They had such bad attitudes. But most of the guys that I trained, I actually I had a great experience training them, and so it was pretty cool. And I had did it. Most of the drivers that wanted to drive their shift were my younger drivers. Around 20, 21 years old. They wanted to drive. Well, they were 21 to 24. They usually had no problem. I slept really good when they drove, and then I'd pick it back up, at the nighttime. I had them drive during the day, and then I'd drive at night. But yeah, some of my students, they wouldn't even drive, and I'm like, but you have an 11-hour shift that you need to drive. I can't drive your shift. I just got done with my shift. And shit, I'd end up driving their shift. And I had to do everything I could to stay awake, slap my face as hard as I could to keep myself awake. I just got tired of it. So I got a local job, truck driving, and so that's what I've been doing for Going on 12 years now. No more over the road. Yeah, I did it for too long. I couldn't do it anymore. I couldn't. And I was on dedicated. When you're on dedicated, there's you can only stop for fuel, and if you're ahead of schedule. If you're not ahead of schedule, you can only stop for fuel, and that's where you took your bathroom break, and you got your food, and you're right back in the truck. So, and I would only stop for about 20 minutes at the max. Yeah, I got to. I mean, I was on the Walmart dedicated for a little while. Walmart Sam's Club up in Colorado, and I was actually based out of Cheyenne, Wyoming, and I drove all over Colorado, and I was a solo driver. I bought my own truck, and I deliver to Walmarts and Sam's Clubs throughout Colorado, Montana, Wyoming. Um, what was it? What was the other ones? Just mostly those areas. But I had five or six loads a night that I had to drop. I had to deliver all these pallets of food to, and so that kind of got it got kind of old. I mean, I was in the on the weekends. I'd sleep in my truck, and then every once in a while I'd get to go back home. But most of the time I slept in my truck, and then I'd bobtail all the way back home to Salt Lake City, Utah. And I just was like, this isn't getting me anywhere. Wasn't making enough money, so I took the trainer courses and got certified as a trainer. So that's where I started picking up more money. My dad drives an 18 wheeler hauling fuel. Oh man, that's terrible. I mean, hauling fuel is so hazardous. You get, yeah, I wanted to get my hazmat, but I didn't want to do it. I didn't hauling fuel. I wouldn't do it. So, yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, definitely cool. But I can't. I couldn't haul fuel. I mean, I could have, but I didn't want to. It's too much. It's too hazardous. That's very impressive, seriously. Yeah, so I just stuck to training students how to do all the maneuvers and how to back up into a dock and unload, offload everything, and then drop trailers and pick up trailers and a lot of them didn't even know how to shift, so I had to teach them out of my truck, of course. Let them grind all the gears. They never find a gear. A lot of them couldn't even find the gear to put it in gear. So we'd be hauling down the road. They were doing fine, but once they lost the gear, they didn't know which gear to go into. That was and being on dedicated, yeah. So a lot of times I had to be pretty hard on them when they to train them. I'm not hard on them like be mad or nothing, but just you know s- stick with training them, teaching them how to shift. And I mean, I had the splitter, and they had nice. I learned on a 13 speed, so and I learned pretty good. I learned really fast how to drive a 13 speed, and then um, the 10 speeds that I bought, the one that I bought, they it was so simple. It's what I drive every day now, and so they couldn't figure out the whole splitter thing. Yeah, yeah. So I mean, I'd look over to them when they got when they're in the truck in the very beginning. I'd be driving because we'd start out in the nighttime and usually leave around midnight, and then I drive all throughout the night, and then in the morning time, once my 11 hours was up, I'd hand it over to him, and then I'd ask him. But during the night when he first got the truck, sitting in the passenger side, and I'd ask him, you know how to shift these things, right? And it was either a nope or yeah, kind of, you know. It's like, oh man, we're gonna have to teach you how to shift because that's one of the biggest things, you know, to make it on time and stuff. But yeah, I had a few students didn't even know how to shift, and I'm just like, you don't even know how to shift a. You never drove a stick shift, and they're like, nope. That was not fun. But once they got the hang of it, they wouldn't, you know, they weren't too bad. But there were some that never caught on, you know. Yeah, it was not fun. I wouldn't mind being a trainer if I wasn't on dedicated, and I was just OTR. I was just over the road. That would have been fine. We would have a little bit more time. But being on dedicated, it was just you got to roll. You got to keep those wheels rolling. You stop for fuel. You know, you can't really stop for bathroom breaks unless it was an emergency. So it was like, I mean, I stopped. I had hit a rest area, but you could not stay there long. It was go in, use the bathroom, get back out, get back on the highway. So I mean, of course, I stopped because everybody's got to go to the bathroom, but I just told them you got to watch what you drink and don't drink too much. Don't drink too much liquids going down the road. You got to kind of take it easy, and that way you can get your body used to not having to stop a lot and pee. And that was terrible. Oh well, but I had a lot of patience too. I had a lot of drivers that actually were really happy that I was their trainer. They had some really bad experiences in the past, and so they're like, "I'm so glad they gave you as my trainer because they were like you were so much better at training people. You have so much more patience and I would make it a cool trip. You know, most of them were pretty cool. So, and I think I mean I had quite a few students, but I think I even got cards in the mail from a few of them that were just like letting me know that they were still driving and they learned so much from me. It was pretty cool. I enjoyed that time. So yeah, can you imagine? I mean, I was there. I knew what it was like having students say, "Yeah, I don't know how to drive a stick shift," and I'm just like, "Are you kidding me?" Oh no! I was like, "I don't know if this is even gonna work if you can't even drive a stick shift." We gotta get going. You gotta stay up for a couple hours every night and watch me shift. You gotta watch how I shift this truck. I mean, I don't care if you're floating gears. At least we're getting down the road. You gotta know how to drive a stick shift. That's terrible. Why would you even want to be a truck driver if you don't even know how to drive a simple stick shift? But they're out there. There's tons of people out there that never even drove before. They all want to be truck drivers. They think they're all going to be out there making the big bucks. It's like, well, you're definitely going to start at the bottom, and you got to get that shifting down and learn everything else too. But it didn't take me very long. I learned in the winter time too, so it was pretty scary for me, to be driving on the ice when I never drove the big rig before. I mean, I knew how to drive and shift and all that, and I picked up the 13 speed really quick um, and was pretty good at it. But I think when I first started, I hit black ice a few times and almost jackknifed a couple times, but my instincts kicked in, and so I was able to pull out of the jackknife real quick before anything happened, and then get going down the road. And I learned how to how to operate the vehicles, and I spent a lot of time on my off time driving and learning how to drive and traffic and stuff. So nothing's difficult for me anymore. I've been to so many places where you could barely even squeeze an 18 wheeler in, and had to do a wacky backup job up to the dock on an angle in an alleyway with a 72-foot truck and trailer, and just some crazy places. The worst place I think I ever been to is New Jersey. Oh my gosh, I never liked going there. I found myself on side streets and out that were so narrow because they parked on both sides, and the power lines were so low that I was amazed I got out of some of the situations I got myself into, but never had an accident. I even went on a toll road one time, and I wasn't even supposed to be on a toll road. I ended up getting on the highway there in New Jersey, and it was the wrong highway. And I came up to a toll booth that went across the whole entire highway, and they're like, you're not supposed to have an 18 wheeler in here. I said, yeah, I know. I saw the sign after I already made my turn, and then I started looking at the roof, the height of the roof of where your booths are, where all the cars pass through, and I jetted to the right side because it was the lowest part, and I missed the roof by an inch. And they're like, yeah, you need to get off this road and hit that next roundabout, and don't scrape your trailer making the turn, and get off this road, never come back on here again. I was like, where the freak did I just take myself? That was the freakiest. I hated going to New Jersey. I hated it. But we got out of there. And I think it was, the exit was it was like a snail turn. And it wasn't made for tractor trailers. It was only made for cars and trucks, and maybe a short, straight truck, which is like a box truck that haul around like food and frozen food and stuff. Not an 72-foot 18 wheeler. And so I had to drive up on the curb just so that my trailer didn't scrape the parts of the concrete that were in the snail turn. And then it led me to a road that was like a one-way road, and it was so narrow. It said no trucks down that road, but I still went down that road because I had to find the highway to get back out. And so I never wanted to go there again. Never. I was driving down the road and asking people how to find the freaking highway, and it sucked. They're just like looking at me like, what the hell are you driving that thing in our town for, our neighborhood for? I did not like it. I told my driver manager, never send me there again. If you do, I'm not going. Turn down the load. She almost kicked me off the dedicated account because I told her that. She was mean. She was a real mean person. But it's all right. I ended up telling her that was the last student I'll ever take, and I'm gonna look for a local job. And I found one. I found one quick, so I quit doing that. That was just too much for me. Dealing with students that didn't want to drive. Full-grown men that would refuse to drive their shift and wanted me to just drop what I'm doing and take them back to the school back in Utah. And I was like, nope, you're gonna sit back there. You're just gonna hang out. I'm not gonna make any special trips. Otherwise, you can get out of my truck and call someone to come pick you up. Otherwise, you're gonna sit in the sleeper and or wherever you want, and we're just gonna do my normal route, and I'll drive your hours, and nothing special for nobody that's not gonna drive. But I did that so much that I just be amazed how many people refuse to drive when they're already dedicated, like in the truck. They got all their stuff to last them for a month or whatever. time, because I trained out at CR England, and they had their own facilities, their own school, colleges, dorms, and so all the students stayed there, and that's where I stayed for the 3 months that I was there, learning and training and becoming a driver, and then becoming a CDL trainer, phase one trainer. And so I stayed at the dorms. I mean, it was every single night. I had a house, but I stayed at the dorm. An hour away was I had a house that was a little over an hour and a half away, if it was really heavy traffic. But I stayed right there in the dorms and did the whole school and did extra time learning how to drive the truck and do all the parallel parking and everything with those big old trucks, so that I knew what I was doing. And there were students that were signed up and sitting in the passenger side, and we were cruising down the road. And when it got time for them to drive, they flat out refused. They were too scared to drive that truck and trailer. So yeah, that got old. But anyways, hey guys, I'm gonna hang this one up tonight. I'm getting tired. Got to go to bed here. It's already after 8, so I'm going to hang this live stream up, but I'll pick it back up tomorrow. So thanks, guys, for watching, for everybody that was on my live stream. But you guys can go back and watch all my lives. I upload them every time I'm done with the live stream. You guys can go check out my channel, hit that subscribe button, and turn on notifications so you guys don't miss any of my uploads. Also, leave me comments so I can get to know you guys, just like my other subscribers do for me. Love to have you guys part of this channel. So you guys have a good night, and check me out. Check out my community section on my channel. You guys can see messages. I'll leave messages on there for everybody, letting you guys know when I'll be doing another live stream or what's going to be coming up for the next videos and adventures that I go out on, and if I do a live stream that on that night, so on that particular adventure. But watch some videos and leave me comments, everybody. So, but you guys have a great night. We'll pick this back up tomorrow. You all have a great night tonight. And we'll see you later, Amanda, whoever else was on here. And you guys have a great night. We'll pick it back up about the same time, probably tomorrow. I just got a few things to do tomorrow, and then I'll jump on live stream, talk to you guys. Excuse me. So you guys have a great night. We'll see you guys later.